Thanks for joining us on the Midday News. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. The People's Democratic Party has expressed satisfaction with the leadership style of its national chairman, Adamu Muazu, since he assumed office over a year ago. Party spokesman Ulisa Metu said in a statement that the leadership style of Muazu has enhanced the support base of the party ahead of the 2015 general elections. This, he noted, is in spite of what he described as attempts to use spurious publications in a section of the media to tarnish the image of the PDP chairman. Metu maintained that the aim of those behind the mischievous report is to sow seed of discord and cause confusion within the party ranks, distract the leadership and undermine its presidential campaign. Meanwhile, the PDP has accused the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, of committing war crimes during the civil war. Spokesman for the party's presidential campaign team, Femi Fani-Kayode, said at a press conference in Umuahia, Abia State, that Buhari allegedly played some role in the massacre of unarmed civilians in Asaba. He argued that if it was true that the APC candidate was one of the soldiers that took part in the killings, that he should be tried for crimes against humanity. But APC's presidential campaign team has described Femi Fani-Kayode's claim as felonious. It also dismissed the attack on Buhari's war record as a pointer to PDP's desperation. A spokesman, Garba Shehu, wondered why the PDP would take steps that are capable of questioning the nation's unity. Members of the Chibok community in Abuja are not convinced of the security, or rather the sincerity of the authorities on the plight of the parents of the abducted schoolgirls. This, according to the chairman of Kibaku Area Development Association, Hosea Sambido, is because government officials were not truthful when they claimed they recently met with parents and families of the Chibok girls. He specifically said at a news conference that the Minister of State for Power, Mohammed Wakil, never held a meeting with parents of the abducted girls in Maiduguri or any part of Borno State.
No parent of the adopted girls or relative was at a meeting with any representative of the federal government in Maiduguri or any other venue, known or unknown to us. Barrister Mohammed Wakil, Minister of State for Power, was never in any meeting with any parent of the adopted Chibok girls. The few Chibok people at the meeting were politicians and associates of the minister, but no parents of the adopted school girls or representatives of the Chibok people was in attendance. Those at the meeting who spoke only expressed their personal opinions, but not for the adopted girls' parents or Chibok people in general. We therefore call on the Honorable Minister, who was once a member of the House of Representatives representing Chibok, Damboa and Goza Federal Constituency, but has never come near Chibok for over 10 years and had neither consoled the family of the adopted girls since the incident.
The Arawa Consultative Forum has lashed out at the coordinator of the Odua People's Congress, Gani Adams, for demanding the removal of the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jega. Adams had, amongst others, called for Jega's sack for allegedly creating an additional 30,000 polling units. But ACF says the OPC coordinator showed his pedestrian understanding of the Nigerian constitution and the electoral law by making such claim. The Northern Nigerian Social Cultural Group said in a statement issued by its spokesman, Mohammed Ibrahim, that Adams' reasons were laughable. He added that the OPC leaders claim that he has not heard how card readers contributed or add value to any major election in the world, portrays him as ignorant of the digital age where transparency is the hallmark of free, fair and credible election. The ACF spokesman also called on leaders to guard their utterances, especially on sensitive issues which they are not well informed. And ahead the general elections, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria has called on the electorate to evaluate the performance and antecedents of candidates seeking their votes. This was contained in a press statement that was released in Abuja and signed by Reverend Father Alexander Dung, Director of Communications, Just Catholic Archdiocese Chancery. With the current wave of tensions associated with campaigns and preparations for the forthcoming elections, the bishops drew the attention of all political actors that they are individually and collectively responsible for the electoral process and its outcome. The bishops acknowledged the efforts of security operatives in the fight against insurgents and called on government to take more decisive steps towards ensuring the safety of citizens as the 2015 elections approached. They, however, announced the re-election of the Catholic Archbishop of Jos, Most Reverend Ignatius Kegama, as President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, and Most Reverend Augustine Akwebueze as Vice President for a second term. A coalition of civil society organizations has said the recent mock trial of card readers in some parts of the country passed the integrity test. It therefore wants the Independent National Electoral Commission to go ahead and use the card readers and permanent voter cards for the rescheduled elections. This, according to the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, is based on field reports by members of the coalition. It said in a statement issued in Abuja that the exercise was fairly successful, but also drew attention to areas in need of improvement. The coalition wants INEC to intensify its efforts on voter and civic education program on why and how eligible voters must vote with the PVC. The CSOs also want the commission to make alternative card readers available and accessible on election day to avoid unnecessary delay in the accreditation process. It's the midday news on CoreTV News. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You can also get all of our top stories on any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News, and we're also trending on Twitter. It's Twitter at CoreTV News NG. You can stream our programs and news live on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV with a space and news. Moving on now, Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha says the All Progressives Congress will soon get new members into its fold. The governor, who was a guest at the governorship campaign of the party in Lagos, says 7 non-APC governors are holding a meeting to facilitate their defection to the APC.
Today, about 7 governors who are not APC is coming to hold meeting with us privately to join us. Don't tell anybody, don't tell anybody. Number 2, there's fear in the country. The fear is that they know Buhari is a good man. They know Buhari will win. But there's one fear. The fear is that once they announce Buhari as a president on the 28th of March, all the bad people where they chop our money, they go run for midnight.
The federal government says it has been spending about 100 billion naira annually on educational projects across Nigerian universities. It also insists that it has over the years paid special attention to the education sector through provision of infrastructure. Vice President Ahmad Sambo discussed this at the foundation-laying ceremony of a 360-bed female hostel block named after Dame Patience Jonathan and a modern international conference center at the Bayero University in Kano. He added that the federal government has approved 1.5 trillion naira from the Presidential Support Fund on Education to cater for the need of Nigerian universities and other tertiary institutions. The Vice President also held an interactive session with members of the university community shortly after the ceremony.
Have a total allocation of 11.9 billion naira, while 3 billion further allocation for higher impact projects under the 2010-2014 intervention funds. The police academy at Wudil, which has now been upgraded into a degree awarding institution for a university, has a total of 8 ongoing key projects with a total allocation of 2.4 billion, while 1.5 billion naira was allocated as a take-off grant for the new university under the 2012-2014 intervention funds.
We have deliberately pursued or we have been pursuing policies geared towards repositioning the university from a predominantly humanities-based university to a science-based one, expanding access through the introduction of new courses and new programs, promoting research excellence through establishment of new research centers, as well as more graduate programs, and deepening academic excellence through training and retraining of staff and so on.
The Plateau State Commissioner for Justice, Oliver Dazem, said the state government has so far spent 500 million naira on the construction of a high court complex in Jos. Dazem told newsmen in the state capital on Monday that the measure was part of the initiatives to provide conducive environment for the dispensation of justice. She said the essence of the project was to ensure a comfortable accommodation for justice delivery. According to her, the present complex is a legacy given to them, but it requires a change due to the current realities and innovation in the judicial system. Meanwhile, the state chapter of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, who's been on strike since the year began, had earlier accused the executive of abandoning the court buildings in the state. Stories from outside Nigeria is next. Stick around, don't go away.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Hundreds of South Africans protested on Sunday against an Israeli trade exhibition currently being held in Johannesburg. And now Bapela, who is also the head of the ruling African National Congress International Relations, reaffirmed the party's position on the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. South Africa's late national liberation hero once famously said South Africa's freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. Most speakers and protesters said this exhibition should be the last Israel Trade Expo held on South African soil. The Trade Expo, currently being hosted at the Sandton Convention Center, is organized by the South African Zionist Federation. It showcases Israeli products including wine, food, and medicine. Now to Russia, where President Vladimir Putin has revealed he planned the annexation of Crimea 4 days before unidentified gunmen appeared in the region. Crimea was formally absorbed on 18th March to international condemnation. Russia denied instigating the revolt against Ukraine, but in a forthcoming film, Putin says he ordered work on returning Crimea to Russia at an all-night meeting in February. The talks were called to plan the rescue of Ukraine's deposed president. The operation to annex Crimea was kept secret at the time, with Russia denying all involvement, although Putin later admitted deploying troops on the peninsula, where they stood behind Crimea's self-defense forces. And that wraps it this hour on the Midday News. Join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Thank you for being there.